People of the realm, there are many mysteries within the books of A Song of Ice and Fire, and gradually over time some of those have been resolved as the series unfolds. But it's been a good long time since we've had something new to get our teeth into, and so you, like myself, ponder on the could-bes and the what-ifs of this fantastic story. Today's video is all about Tyrion's first wife Taisha, and we'll ask that infamous question: where do whores go? When Tyrion Lannister was 13 years old, he along with his brother Jaime saved a young girl from being raped. He showed kindness and comforted this girl, who would later become his wife. Her name was Tysha. After 2 weeks, word soon reached the ear of his father Tyrion Lannister that his son had married without his consent, and what was worse is he married well below his station to a crofter's daughter. The prestige of House Lannister could not be tarnished any further by such a union, and so Tyrion formulated a plan. Tyrion and Taisha were clearly besotted with each other, and they'd actually set up home in a cottage by the Sunset Sea. Now, in order to pry his son away from this lowborn wench, Jaime was commanded to lie to Tyrion, stating that she was a whore who was bought and paid for in order to make Tyrion a man. Tyrion then commanded that the marriage be revoked, and to prove a point, he let his guards rape Taisha. Now, we're not sure exactly how many guards took part in this, but we do know that for each guard Taisha received a silver. Tyrion was forced to watch and then become the final man to rape her, and for that rape she was paid with a gold coin because Lannisters are deemed better than the common man. Taisha was shipped off to places unknown, but now that Jaime has told Tyrion the truth, the fact that he didn't pay her, the fact that she did truly love him, she was genuine in her intent, Tyrion's guilt is clear. And so the words his father uttered to him before his death linger still. Where do whores go? Now, before I discuss where, let's discuss the possibility of who. For we may very well have met Taisha already under a different name. Many a forum for many a year has debated this, and so I'm going to take 3 of the most likely candidates. I'm going to discuss them. Firstly, we have a prostitute, known only as the sailor's wife. Now, she works in Bravos. She tells her clients that they must wed her before they bed her, and tells the tale of a long lost love who was lost to the sea. Interestingly enough, she actually has a 14-year-old daughter named Lana, which is almost too obvious as it's a variation on the family name Lannister. Now, I personally think that this is George R.R. Martin playing with us, although some have argued that age-wise it could be a possibility, but that her tale about her love being a sailor doesn't really fit with Tyrion. However, some have suggested that this may point to another Lannister altogether, Tyrion's lost uncle, Geryon, also known as the Laughing Lion. Now, once again, this could be a possibility, but consider the fact that Geryon's bastard daughter, Joy Hill, although born to a commoner back in Westeros, is actually 3 years younger than Lana. So to me, that kind of rules this one out too. The time periods don't match up. And if you think one step further, if it did turn out that the sailor's wife was Taisha, her daughter Lana, she could actually have been fathered by any one of the guardsmen who took part in this rape. That's a scary thought. And I did almost forget to put this in, but in the Happy Port where the sailor's wife plies her trade, there is also a Maggie called Yana. So check out this quote. They say that she went to pray for her first husband, her true husband, who had been lost at sea when she was a girl no older than Lana. She thinks that if she finds the right god, maybe he will send the winds and blow her old love back to her, said One-Eyed Yana, who knew her the longest. But I pray it never happens. Her love is dead. I could taste that in her blood. If he ever should come back to her, it will be as a corpse. So, Yana the Maggie is pretty much saying that her first love is dead, so there's another reason for it not to be Tyrion. But can we really trust in that? Who knows? I'm not really feeling this one as being a viable possibility. It just seems oh so obvious. Next up we have one of my personal favourites, and that is Pretty Merys. She is the company torturer of the Windsblown. Now she was born in Westeros, but little is said about how and why she left, or how long in fact she has been in the company of the Tattered Prince. Despite her name, Merys is actually disfigured quite severely. She's lost both her ears, she has scars crossing both cheeks, and there is also a rumour that beneath her shirt she bears no breasts, she only has scars where they once were. It's said that sometime in the past she was raped by half the members of a different sellsword company. Now I love the idea that Taisha could be Merys, but even I have to admit that it's really lacking some evidence here. Yes, there is a similar story about rape, but there are little facts to go off. Tywin never actually mentions the fact if he's ordered her to be disfigured, and it was just mentioned that she was sent away once she knew her place. This one, although a favourite of mine, might be a little too much of a stretch, although I do love you, Merys. Lastly, we have someone fairly unusual, and that's Taina Merryweather. You remember her, she's wed to the formerly exiled Autumn Merryweather. What, you still don't remember her? Okay, well let's see if this rattles your memory. In Tyrion's trial, she was actually testifying against him, and she insisted that he did drop something into Joffrey's cup. But wait a minute, Tyrion would have seen her and not recognised her? Is that even a possibility? Oh, you never know. She has been gone 14, 15 years. Things could change. I imagine the assault could change her. I don't know if it changes her physically, who knows. But let's have a look if we do have any evidence. And we really don't. Description wise, both her and Taisha are described as beautiful, but in their own ways. And even Theon used to be pretty at one time or another. The biggest link that anyone can make seems to be the fact that Taisha liked Myrish songs. And it just so happens that Taina Merryweather comes from Myr. Yeah, the song was called Seasons of My Love. Once again, I think it's interesting, but it's an extremely unlikely option that she is going to be Taisha. Let's not forget that in the description alone, Taisha is described as having blue eyes, where Taina has dark. And yes, I know blue eyes can be dark, and Georgie Boy can be somewhat ambiguous with the old Windows to the Soul, where purple eyes are described as black and so on and so forth. So there you have it, 3 possible candidates to be Tyrion's long lost wife. Now I've pretty much debunked the 3 of them, although I have a soft spot for Pretty Merys. I think that would be the one to add most to the story if it was to go down that route, which I hope it doesn't. But just so you get yourself a well-rounded video, let's cover a few possibilities we haven't already. Taisha may have died. She might have died a long time ago. Just consider, a victim of such a horrendous act would certainly struggle with the mental scars that it left. Who's to say she wasn't one for taking her own life? We're not to know these things, the possibilities after all are endless. She did leave the Westerlands with a small fortune, so who knows? Maybe we'll just end up meeting her and she'll just be herself. No secret identity at all. Kinda hope we don't know. For Tyrion's arc, I would prefer that this whole story goes unresolved, as I feel it adds a lot to Tyrion's conflict with his family. He has clear feelings of guilt towards Taisha, and rightly so. His hatred of his father was driven partly by this, and it just makes his character somewhat deeper. Let's not forget that Tyrion is a kinslayer after all, and now that's to both his parents. He's also a rapist to his first wife. These of course are always going to be argued and debated. After all, his mother did die in childbirth, and you could argue the fact that his father forced him to rape his wife. Arguably, Martin has worked wonders with Tyrion, as he is the most popular character in all of the books. But if I had to play devil's advocate and answer the question, where do whores go? Well, I would say whores go to Baelish. The fires of theory grow cold for now. Let me know what you think. Will we ever meet Taisha? Where do the whores go? And what would Baelish do with her if he did have her? Let me know what you think about the video. Leave a like if you like, and don't forget to change your last name to Frey if you do not. And remember, I am the Northlander, you know nothing, and neither do I.